At first glance, it can be difficult to distinguish between the Z Fold 3 and the Z Fold 4 since both devices look almost the same. The aspect ratio of the screen is one of the minor differences between the devices. Compared to the Z Fold 3, which had a 22.5 by 18 display ratio, the Z Fold 4 has a 23.1 by 19 ratio. In other words, it is slightly shorter and wider than the previous version, which makes it better for displaying content and more comfortable for long-term use. It also comes with a new version of Android 12 called Android 12L, which enables all apps to be used with the large screen. This increases the practicality and productivity of a device, especially with a new multitasking feature that allows you to open 3 apps at once, plus up to 11 apps that pop up in the dock at the button. We can't discuss productivity without mentioning the S Pen, which can also be used to edit photos, videos, and much more. The S Pen will be sold separately. In addition, if you want a case that includes a spot for the S Pen, that also needs to be purchased separately. And similarly to Samsung's flagship devices, Samsung Desk is also available on the Z Fold 4, boosting productivity, especially if you connect it to an external monitor. I know I've been talking a lot about productivity. That's because I really think this device is designed for it. With a 7.6-inch main screen and a 6.2-inch outer screen, the device comes with a dynamic AMOLED display, and no one can argue with the fact that the screen is wonderful with amazing colors, just like Samsung's other devices. However, the difference here is that the Z Fold 4 has a brighter screen, 8000 nits, than the Z Fold 3 900 nits, so it is more convenient to use outdoors. On both screens, the frame rate is 120 Hz, which makes the gaming and viewing experience smoother. But the main screen can go between 1 and 120 Hz depending on what content is displayed on the device, while the outer screen will only be between 48 and 120 Hz. And if you are wondering about the screen increase, I'm sorry, but it is still the same as it was in the previous version, which is a bit disappointing, especially for people who expected to have a less noticeable screen increase in the Z Fold 4. The Z Fold's cameras are similar to those on the S22 and S22 Plus, with a 50 megapixel primary wide-angle camera, a 10 megapixel telephoto camera with a 3x optical zoom, and a 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera. However, with the new processor, Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, it is likely that the cameras will be more better. Worst case scenario, they will be the same as the cameras on the S22 and S22 Plus, which were amazing. Plus, it has an under-display selfie camera. It is less noticeable than that of the previous generation. This makes it blend better with the content displayed on the device, but you can still notice it if you stare at it for a while. It also has a 10 megapixel front-facing camera on the cover display. And like I mentioned, the Z Fold 4 will be powered by a new processor, 4nm Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 as the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. As a result of the chipset, CPU and GPU performance have been improved significantly, with 12GB of RAM as well as 256GB, 512GB, and 1TB of internal storage. Despite these minor changes, the battery size didn't change, so it has a 4400 mAh battery that supports 25-watt fast charging. However, the power consumption will be lower thanks to the new processor, and the weight is lighter here at 263 grams, which is around 10 grams less than the Z Fold 3, which is good. It also comes with an IPX8 rating, which means it is water resistant, so you can submerge it up to 1.5 meters in fresh water for up to 30 minutes. The Z Fold 4 starts at $1,799 and is available in Phantom Black, Beige, Gray Green, and burgundy. With limited improvements and a high price, you will get a device with higher performance, a better camera, and higher productivity thanks to the new taskbar feature. So, is it worth the purchase? Tell me in the comments below.